gamers from the Mega CD, Amiga and Atari ST era may well harbour fond memories for this classic 3D flight sim. But for those who missed out, Core Design is hoping to satisfy PS2 gamers with their next-generation sequel, Thunderstrike 3 Operation Phoenix, set for release in late 2001. Each of the 7 campaigns on offer includes between 3 and 6 missions, and a choice of support forces from a selection of ground and air troops can be made from the start. Although you can't control these units during the battle, Core Design claims this will add new strategic and tactical elements to the play. Weapons come in all shapes and sizes, including all the usual air-to-ground and air-to-air guided missiles. A rather nifty-sounding sniper cannon should please first-person shooter fans, and the scope for serious tank busting can be fun to watch through a multitude of camera angles. Rapper was one of Sony's most unique PlayStation titles, and its success proved that rapping with Parappa was not as dumb as it looked. And with a PS2 sequel in development, the Dogstar rapper looks set to return in one of Sony's coolest looking games ever. As before, gameplay is an exercise in timing and rhythm, if nothing else. The controls remain simplistic. New characters on the block provide fresh faces for the variety of new goofy game modes on offer, and with the addition of multiplayer gaming, players can battle it out through the addictive medium of dance. After 2 world-famous installments of Everybody's Golf on the PlayStation, Japanese development studio Clap Hands has announced Everybody's Golf 3 for the PS2 platform. New features include a complete revision of the camera positioning system and advanced facial expressions for the new lineup of cartoon-style players. Realistic time progression from day to night is also included, and the course designs are based on locations in Japan, Hawaii and the Grand Canyon. The gameplay system is very similar to the previous games in the series, and the modes of play in Hot Shots Golf 3 include the familiar tournament, stroke play, training and match play options, with a network tournament option penciled in for the final release. Information about Namco's eagerly awaited follow-up to the disappointing Tekken Tag is scarce to say the least, but PSW brings you the biggest exclusive ever, with our first look at what's on offer. Although we're showing arcade footage of the game, it's running on PlayStation 2 hardware, so expect a very close look to the home game. Naturally, the graphics have achieved the level expected of a second-generation PS2 title, and the proper 3D environments provide a bounded gaming area, where new combat innovations provide the ability to slam your opponents into walls.
Produced by Namco.
The biggest leap forward in Tekken 4 is evolution of the level designs. Some levels are wide open, some are narrow and cramped, and it looks as if a few may even include multiple elevation levels with different shapes and constraints having their own effect on a fight.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4. Round 1. Go!
Fighting beneath a plane is an awesome new experience, plus all of the new zones have massive backdrops, which spread off miles into the background. As players now have a true 360-degree freedom, dodging and sidestep moves have received a new lease of life and provide the key to successful evasions and surprise attacks as you try to anticipate your opponent's every move. It's not only possible to circle the other fighters now, but a new switch move lets you swap places in an instant. Obviously, Namco are keeping the finer details very close to their chests, and the game modes on offer are yet to be confirmed along with the full character lineup. But Steve Fox, the mysterious British boxing champion, looks set to make the roll call along with a host of old favourites, instantly recognisable to Tekken fans. Tekken 4 should hopefully make it into the arcades this year, with a PS2 release rumoured to be early 2002. The only thing we can guarantee at this stage is the confrontation with Sega's Virtua Fighter 4 looks set to be a fight to the death.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4.
After a number of revenge-fueled sequels and semi-sequel tag battles, Virtua Fighter 4 steps into the ring once more to declare itself the ultimate fighting championship on the PS2. VF4 employs the same control scheme as the first two games, with punch, kick and defensive commands. There's also a complex parrying system, which improves on the comparable Dead or Alive 2 visually at least. 8-way movement is possible, along with the standard stationary joystick manoeuvres. The most significant new addition to Sega's beat-em-up is the special stagger attack ability. By powering up this weighty attack, you can break through your opponent's guard and even prepare follow-up moves by stunning them for brief moments of time. Most of the old characters look set to return, providing a 13-strong lineup with 2 new male and female characters in the works. Players with a taste for Showreel-style martial arts will favour Li Fei's moves, while Vanessa Lewis fights with an indeterminate style for the jack-of-all-trades approach. There can be no argument about the game's graphics either, although the version of VF4 you see here is currently running on Sega's cutting-edge Naomi 2 arcade machine. Hopefully the port to Sony's PS2 will still look groundbreaking, with much improved character detailing and lighting effects making it all worthwhile. How the home version will compare to Tekken 4 remains to be seen. Where Tekken 4 goes for all-out arcade action, Virtua Fighter 4 treads the path of realism. The VF series has long prided itself in offering a more up-close and personal fighting style, with high and low attacks, juggling aerial combos, counterattacks and throws, making up the most challenging fighter yet dreamed up. Despite this impressive demonstration, Virtua Fighter 4 is still a long way off. Like its main rival Tekken 4, the arcade release is due this year, and hopefully the PS2 will have a new undisputed 3D fighting king by early 2002. Capcom's Devil May Cry is the latest evolution of Resident Evil gaming, combining full 3D backgrounds and lightning-fast action to wow gamers with a new demonic thriller. Players assume the role of Dante, part demon and part human. Dante's fate is to bring down his evil brethren, and then to make it final by confronting the very demon that stood between his father and the safety of mankind over 2,000 years ago. The key to making progress is to reap the souls of the dark forces who inhabit the macabre levels. These can be traded for new abilities and also provide Dante with the explosive devil mode. Switch to this and everything Dante does becomes bigger and louder, allowing our nocturnal hero to sprint faster, hit harder, and deliver devastating blasts from the selection of weapons available, blowing enemies right across the floor. This host of enemies includes some of the most imaginative and well-realised creatures we've seen on the PS2. These constantly regenerating freaks make it difficult to clear certain areas, as portals to the underworld constantly spawn a new batch of lunatics. Twisted, puppet-type creations hang from the fixtures and fittings and form the main staple diet for Dante's thirst for demonic life force. But ghoulish apparitions and a host of creative boss characters etch some of the most beautifully crafted combat sequences into the nightmarish backdrop. While part of Dante's task revolves around slaying the bizarre creature creations, the chore of realising his family's 2,000-year-old quest for revenge provides a suitable storyline with supernatural puzzle solving to wrest your mind from the lightning-fast action sequences. With the range of ideas Capcom is looking to implement into their new gothic horror, Devil May Cry deserves to be massive. The highly polished graphics, stunning environments and fantastic animations provide an undeniable aura of gaming cool to make it the best game to grace the PS2 so far.
Devil May Cry.
With a transformed Daxter riding on his shoulders, Jack heads off into Naughty Dog's latest 3D adventure, seeking out mystical powers to return Daxter to his human form. As with all 3D platformers, there's a great deal of collecting to be done. The main object is to collect power cells, which power up Jack's jet bike and serve as transportation to the next vast gaming area, where Jack can literally roam anywhere he pleases. So far, Jack can jump, roll, punch, uppercut, and perform a variety of attacks in a similar vein to Sony's Crash Bandicoot mascot. You begin the game with a short list of moves, and Jack eventually learns more as the game progresses. The worlds are enormous, with traditional platform jumping elements, racing, and minigames to keep things interesting. Jak and Daxter really shines through when it comes to the graphics. Gorgeous backgrounds and silky smooth animation make this one of the best looking titles available for the PS2. And players looking for an old school platforming adventure with stunning new effects will certainly find it here. With the Japanese release date now set for September, it looks like Namco's latest PlayStation 2 game, Ace Combat 4, is on the tail end of its long development cycle, and it's looking great. What you're seeing here is a trailer of the game in action, with Namco's producers showing off the game using a number of dynamic viewpoints. To tell you the truth, when you're actually playing Ace Combat 4, the view is remarkably different. An in-cockpit view gives you the usual flight simulation style head-up display, and a great deal of the time is spent chasing enemy planes and gunning them down. If you're unlucky enough to get a bogey on your 6, you can switch to external views to get a better view of what's going on. Despite being set in a post-apocalyptic near future, the hardware you get to fly is based very much on real-life military hardware. So far, 6 planes have been revealed, including the F-14, F-15 and F-16 American fighter jets. Also included is the Rafale French air fighter and the old Mirage jet. But perhaps best of all is the opportunity to get your hands on the F-22 stealth fighter. We had a good time playing this at the recent E3 trade show in Los Angeles. Look out for more coverage of the game, including some actual in-game footage coming soon. Currently in development at Sony, Ape Escape 2001 is set to regain the platforming crown with highly polished visuals and enhanced gameplay features, providing a well-refined classic for Sony's new machine. Ape Escape 2001 takes up the basic game pattern of the original hit and throws a new gaming twist into the mix. Before, clearing levels of monkey madness meant chasing down the gibbering simians before access to the next level is granted. This time, however, returning hero Spike can just hoover their pants off to save time. Consisting of more than 20 huge 3D levels based on a variety of zones, the game's world map now forms a branching structure, where timed levels require a hoover bag full of pants to be deposited into a giant washing machine. These pantless foes fail to recognise your efficient laundry service and try every trick in the book to steal back their underwear, hindering your quest at every available opportunity. Extra pant challenges provide more points, and the hoover doubles up as a handy weapon for launching vacuumed monkeys in sub-level target practice scenarios. Power-up icons and bombs can be used to fight back, and if all else fails, a well-waved banana can provide a suitable distraction. In addition to this eccentric gaming pursuit, Ape Escape 2001 offers a departure in the handling department, with a more conventional use of the analog control system. The left stick controls Spike's direction, leaving the right stick free for aiming and firing power-ups and projectiles. From what's on offer, Ape Escape 2001 offers nothing new to go ape over. Everything runs as smoothly as before, and the storyline is still as silly as ever. But underneath all this still lies one of the best 3D platformers to date, brimming with innovation, originality, and highly annoying theme tunes.
This is the police. Drop all your weapons.
Rising from the ashes of Sega's ill-fated Dreamcast, Code Veronica X resurrects the long-awaited showdown between veteran Claire Redfield and the evil Albert Wesker for a timely release on the PS2. The biggest improvement over the previous Resident Evil outings is the use of fully 3D environments. Blood-stained rooms with trashed furniture and smashed windows now hint to a beautifully crafted nightmare where the foulest of biological defects lurk around every corner. The plentiful hordes of moaning zombies provide the main obstacle for Claire to deal with. And 7 boss characters patrol specific stages of play. But the muscle-bound Bandersnatch has to be one of the nastiest creations the evil Umbrella Corporation has ever come up with. These genetic freaks attack with a single arm and squash your thinking matter to a pulp if you hang around long enough. Luckily for Claire, Steve is at hand to help out, and gaming switches between both characters at different stages of play. Combat sequences benefit from the 180-degree spin pioneered in Capcom's survival horror spin-off Dino Crisis, but overall, taking on the zombie hordes is still a sluggish affair, with rotate, fire and move controls lacking the essential coordination for quick-thinking combat. But when it comes to weapons, carving your way through this nightmare world of living dead gets easier. The ability to target 2 guns at separate enemies significantly boosts your chances when surrounded, with M100P pistols and Uzi submachine guns providing a good excuse to waste shed-loads of ammo. Code Veronica X is certainly worth playing if you want to follow the story as it arcs towards Resident Evil 4, but otherwise the changes are less compelling. The graphics, as always, are fantastically stylish and smooth, but the same old control system and puzzle-solving aspects are still just a bit too clumsy. But if you've never played Resident Evil Code Veronica X at all, you simply mustn't miss out on this, the best version of the Resi yet released. Extreme G3 represents a huge leap for developer acclaim in terms of next-generation console gaming. Not only is it one of the best-looking PS2 titles in development, utilising the raw power of the Emotion engine, but Acclaim's sophisticated physics system caters to all the convoluted twists and turns of Extreme G3's vastly distorted racing circuits. You start as a rookie pilot who must first prove his racing worth in a series of virtual reality races before being granted a superbike for the game's main challenge. Gameplay focuses on racing and pure racing alone, with a racing field of 12 bikes to compete against and a serious array of weaponry with which to wipe the floor clean. The control system is straightforward enough. If you accelerate hard enough, the front part of the bike lifts up and the weight is pushed down on the back wheel, and air brakes and thrusters also affect the overall handling. Another important element to the chase is the weaponry on offer. Magnetic mines, rear-firing rockets, energy shields and ironside cannons provide ample firepower as you navigate the jumps, ramps and loops that litter the course layouts. Game modes consist of Team Grand Prix mode, a head-to-head mode, and the awesome cooperative mode, provided through 2-player split-screen action. Extreme G has always been compared to the benchmark Wipeout series, but with the delay of Wipeout Fusion, Extreme G3 does have quite a bit going for it. The tracks are a true test of your driving prowess, and the selection of vehicles provides a lightning-fast experience, guaranteed to please Wipeout fans and newcomers alike.
His name was Calypso. He ran some kind of weird contest, and he was looking for people like me to be a part of it.
Few could deny that crashing around in Mad Max-style cars is enormously good fun. And with Twisted Metal Black, houses, pedestrians, lampposts, and even old ladies on electric buggies are here and waiting to be broken. Of course, your true objective of the game is to smash up to 8 other opponents with whatever weapons you can get your hands on. The most basic attacks are refreshingly simple to unleash, and weapons spawn periodically across the levels. Dedicating yourself to the single-player game unlocks all 14 bonus cars and extra battlegrounds to try out in Twisted Metal Black's generous offering of multiplayer modes. For starters, the game supports up to 4 players in straight deathmatches via a split-screen setup. 2-player last man standing mode gives each player an identical list of cars to battle with, and once it's totaled, the next is up, until the last man standing wins. Best of all, though, is the 2-player cooperative story mode. Working with a friend not only increases your chances of beating the ultra-hard AI, but should ensure you progress at the same rate, making the subsequent deathmatches more fun. Unsurprisingly, the most desirable weapons are in harder to reach places, but at least they're fun to find. You're not just banging about in a bland arena. Best of all, there are some huge objects in the environment for you to interact with, in that special violent way of yours. You'll either love the challenge of learning Twisted Metal Black's myriad control permutations and their effects on weapons power, or you'll accelerate your joypad through the screen in sheer frustration. While not deficient as a single-player offering, the overall challenge is possibly too hard. The real fun is in multiplayer. But to get the best set of wheels, you must battle rock-hard opponents with an awkward control system. Definitely a title for the more patient gamer. The original game came out for the PlayStation whilst we were all watching the emergence of its next generation, but it still managed to achieve the honour of being the best superhero game yet seen. Now Activision are returning with a spin-off from the upcoming film. Spider-Man the movie puts you in the suit of a fledgling Spider-Man as he learns how to battle the forces of evil in a stunning 3D New York City, finally coming face to face with his nemesis, the Green Goblin, in death-defying aerial combat. Activision aren't giving much more away at the moment, but we can be sure that we'll get a lot more of the things that made the original great: fantastic action, awesome web slinging, and beat-em-up style fun. Our spider senses are tingling already. Take a look at the first original game the legendary Sega has developed for the PlayStation 2. Previously known under its development name as the K Project, this game now has a final title, Res. The pedigree of this game is beyond doubt. The team that produced the cult Dreamcast hit Space Channel 5 has come up with the goods for this, with the game's producer having also produced such classics as Sega Rally Championship. The actual content of the game remains shrouded in mystery somewhat, and even by viewing this footage, the bizarre activities of the game are still something of an enigma. However, from what we can gather, the aim is to blast the bad guys out of existence by targeting them, and then letting rip with various sounds and music you have at your disposal. It sounds for all the world like an even wackier version of Fantavision, with shades of Parappa the Rapper gameplay thrown in for good measure. Whatever, the graphics look absolutely phenomenal, And with both Res and its spiritual sequel heading for the PlayStation 2, it looks like being a hell of a time to get into Sega games. Due for summer release, Project Eden looks promising to say the least. Not just your typical first-person shooter, a strong emphasis on puzzle solving and team play has given birth to some of the most imaginative level designs that capture the moment for both single and multiplayer deathmatch modes of play. Project Eden's story takes place on the vastly overpopulated Earth, and with no room left for expansion, quality of life takes a turn for the worse and falls into the hands of the Urban Protection Agency to clean things up a little. A significant strategic element is already apparent. While it's always possible to run into the room with your gun blazing, it's not always the best strategy to take. So the game offers a number of alternatives, based on how much reconnaissance you want to undertake and act upon. This state-of-the-art title looks set to be phenomenal. Watch out for a full preview soon. Game in Capcom's Versus series, featuring more than 10 new characters and 6 different fighting grooves, each based on either Capcom or SNK's fighting styles.
Let's get ready to battle.
The plot is as simple as they come. 2 monster corporations are at war. The only solution? A massive martial arts event planned to settle the score and eliminate all conflicts between the 2 parties, obviously.
Let the martial arts madness begin.
French developer Toka's last project was Soul Fighter on the Dreamcast, and Hidden Invasion builds on that engine, but this time making the most of the new PS2 hardware and switching to a wholly science fiction setting. You take the role of either a male or female Special Forces team member, called in to investigate a particular terrorist crime scene. The plot progresses with a sinister alien conspiracy to infiltrate the Earth and take over the power structure. The only way to save the world and be reunited with your lost love is, of course, to kick vast quantities of alien butt. To help you in this, there's a huge array of spectacular weapons at your disposal, and you can even bring another player on board to ensure an impressive amount of needless destruction. Black Isle Studios and newcomers Snowblind have finally transferred the awesome Baldur's Gate series from its home PC territory to break new ground on Sony's PS2. The attention to every detail is simply fantastic, and the overall gameplay is very reminiscent of the action-orientated Diablo. But Dark Alliance isn't just a straight conversion of the immensely popular PC title. With awesome lighting effects and realistic and fully detailed characters to interact with, this is a whole new experience specifically for console gamers.
Have you taken care of those rats yet? I'm not giving you the key to the sewers until they're all wiped out.
Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is shaping up to be an extremely impressive title, and with a variety of spells, monsters, and a rich storyline providing addictive gaming, what more could you ask for? With Baldur's Gate 2 and Half-Life finally confirmed for a PS2 release, it comes as no surprise that another of the PC's biggest titles is getting a much-deserved console release. In Giant Citizen Kabuto, you begin the game as a mech, one of 3 races who inhabit the tropical gaming area. Progressing through the 50 different missions, stretching across the 18 different locales on offer, then gives you the chance to take control of the remaining races and their mission objectives. Some missions require you to kill sheep-cow hybrids called Vimps and take their meat to a Smartie. Other objectives require you to rescue a Smartie's wife and return her home safely to the fold. Each race has the ability to cast a variety of magic spells, hack away with swords, launch a variety of projectiles, and teleport to various points on the map. Currently due for release at the end of the year, Giant Citizen Kabuto is packed with plenty of monsters to blast, and more than enough game-playing elements to keep you interested until the next PC giant hits Sony's sacred machine. Maelstrom brings together two of the most popular game genre in one single title, giving you the task of taking command of one of two warring pirate bands battling for control of deep space. Your first task is to dogfight around the massive convoys of dreadnoughts in an exciting space combat simulator, taking down the enemy fighter escort and then, ultimately, boarding the larger enemy vessels. At this point, the pace changes as you're put in command of the boarding party, using stealth and combat skills to take control of the ship on a much more personal level. Maelstrom boasts the next generation of Epic's Unreal Tournament engine, Unreal Warfare, and contributions from the world of Judge Dredd in the form of scriptwriter Robbie Morrison and artist Jim Murray. After some delay and much speculation over publishing deals, Team 17 finally looks set to release their zany Stunt GP driving antics through Virgin Interactive. Stunt GP offers players the chance to pull off amazing stunts while racing through the 24-track Stunt GP universe. Races vary from the immediacy of the arcade mode to the seasoned pro circuits, where the main championship rewards await the best performance of gut-wrenching tricks and sensational high speeds. The vast array of circuits includes a warehouse, a Japanese water garden, a multi-storey parking lot, and the Stunt GP arena itself. By collecting Aeromile rewards for pulling off suicidal stunts, players can increase their cash flow and upgrade their chosen buggy. From its insanely deranged stunt-laden tracks, Stunt GP provides a unique platform for utter race madness and will hopefully be released around July.